Welcome back to the class, children. I am a science teacher and my name is Mrs. Jyoti. So we have completed lesson 1 and now we are in lesson 2. So lesson 2 is animals in their surroundings. So everybody be ready with your term book and your pencil. So in lesson 1 we have learnt about plants. So what are the different climatic conditions and how do they adapt themselves to their climatic conditions, and how do plants grow, from where do they grow? They grow from the seeds, right? And what are the different ways of growing the plants, that also we have learned. And crops and vegetables we have learned, that is cultivating a large number of plants at a time, same type of plants at a time. So that we have learned. Now in this lesson we are going to learn completely about animals. So how animals adapt themselves to live in cold areas or hot areas, and what is the skin type, how do they eat, where do they live, few live in water and few live on land, and a few they fly in the air, right? So about all these things we are going to learn in this lesson. So be ready with page number 292. So before starting the lesson, there is a warm-up box for you. So look at the warm-up box. Take your pencil. So identify and name the animals shown here corresponding to each of the statement given below. So here they have given a statement and beside that they have given the picture also. You have to identify the picture and write it. It is a herbivore. Herbivore is nothing but it eats only plants and grass. So what is that picture? It is a giraffe. So the first one is giraffe. Then second one, it gnaws its food. So what is meant by gnawing? So it has a front sharp teeth. It is going to bite it into tiny pieces. That is called as gnawing. So here it is a rabbit. And the third one, it uses its talons to catch its prey. Talons are nothing but the nails of that bird. So if you look at that nails, they are curved like this, sharp. So these hook-like nails, they will help to hold the prey. Prey is nothing but the food of the bird. So these talons are going to help the bird to catch its prey firmly. So what is the bird over there? It is eagle. And the fourth one, it has sharp pointed front teeth to tear the flesh. Even we also have sharp teeth here. Beside this 4 teeth, here we have the little sharp teeth, but for lion and tiger and cheetah, for them it is more sharp, like it will be like long and very sharp pointed teeth. So they help to tear the flesh of the animals. So the given picture over there is lion. And the last one is, it uses a proboscis to suck nectar from the flower, and the given picture is butterfly. So proboscis is nothing but it has a long tube-like structure. So whenever you want to drink a cool drink, you put a straw in that and you drink, right? So here butterflies also, they have a long tube-like structure, but you cannot see the tube-like structure because whenever they want to drink the nectar from the flowers, then only that tube is going to elongate. So after drinking it, again they are going to roll it and put it near the body. So that is called as proboscis. The long tube-like structure which is there for the butterfly is called as proboscis. So here are the answers. The first one is giraffe, second one is rabbit, then third one is eagle, then fourth one is lion, and fifth one is butterfly. right? Now moving on to the next topic, that is the introduction of the lesson. So what is the introduction of the lesson? Nothing but the introduction of animals. So the lesson is about animals. So here they are going to tell few points about the animals. Animals are found in different places on earth. The place where an animal lives, feeds and reproduces is called its habitat. So in lesson 1 also we have learned what is habitat. So habitat is nothing but where the plants or animals, they adapt themselves to live in a particular area. So that particular area is called as its habitat. For example, for human beings, what is their habitat? It is land. For fishes, what is their habitat? It is water. For birds, what is their habitat? It is like trees or land or air. So where they are going to adapt themselves to live is called their habitat. So animals living in a particular habitat adapt themselves to their surroundings. So what is mean by adapt? Changing themselves. So changing themselves which is suitable to the environment. So there are two main habitats. So here we have two main habitats. So one is water, another one is land. So here we have two main habitats. One is water and one is land. That is, animals are going to live in water or in land. And if you take few animals, they live both in land, on land and in water. So that is also the other one, but most of the animals, they live either in water or in land. So water, oceans and fresh waters, then sea, lake, ponds, all this come under water. Then land, under land what are going to come? Like forest, deserts, polar regions, mountains. So polar regions are nothing but where there is so much of snowfall. Right? So animals that live on land are called as terrestrial animals. So the animals which live on land are called as terrestrial animals. They are called as terrestrial animals. The animals which live on land are called terrestrial animals. Whereas when it comes to plants, the plants which live on the land are called as terrestrial plants. So animals that live in water are called as aquatic animals. So which live in water are called as aquatic animals. So the animals which live on land are called as terrestrial animals. The animals which live in water are called as aquatic animals. Then what are the animals which live in both water and land called as? So some animals that can live both on land and in water are called as amphibious animals or amphibians also. So the animals which can live both in water and on land are called as amphibious animals. They are called as amphibious animals. So once again I am telling you, a habitat is nothing but a place where the animal is suitable. It can live. That particular place is called as its habitat. Few live in water and they are called as aquatic animals, and few live on land and they are called as terrestrial animals. Whereas few animals, they can live both in water and on land. They are called as amphibious animals. Now coming to water. Example of the water animals, that is aquatic animals, fish. So fish can live in water. Without water, it cannot live. Then the animals which live on land. You can say like elephant, Elephant is the best example of terrestrial animal. Then amphibious animal, frog. Then tortoise. Then hippopotamus. Then whales. They can live both on land as well as water also. So if you take whales and dolphins, they cannot stay for longer time on the land. So again they go into water. So for some time they stay on the land, again they go back to the water. Right? So here are the examples of water, land and both amphibious animals. Name that animals that live on trees are called as arboreal animals. So animals which live on trees like monkeys, birds, they are all called as arboreal animals. Then squirrels, yes, these all animals, they are dependent on the trees. So they are called as arboreal animals. They are called as arboreal animals. An example is monkey. Animals that can fly are called as aerial animals. So animals that can fly like parrot, pigeon, peacock, all these are called as aerial animals. They are called as aerial animals. In order to survive in their unique surroundings, animals have different body features. Let us learn about them. So once again I am telling you the 5 different categories of animals. So under the habitat, the first one is terrestrial animal. Then the second one is aquatic animals. Third one is amphibious. Then fourth one is arboreal. Then fifth one is aerial. So here are the 5 types of animals. Terrestrial, which live on land. Aquatic, which live in water. Amphibious, which live both in water on land. Arboreal are the animals which live on trees. Aerial, the birds which are able to fly. Most of the time they spend in the sky. Right? So these are the 5 categories of animals. So based on the climatic condition and the place where they live, they have different body structures. So let us see what are they. So body coverings. The next topic is body coverings. One of the main characteristics that is used to distinguish one class of animals from another is the type of the skin. So the animals which live in water, they have different kind of skin. Which live in cold areas, they have different type of skin. Which live in hot areas, they have different type of skin. Right? So let us see what are those. So mammals have skin covered with hair or fur. So what are mammals? Mammals are nothing but the animals which give directly birth to the young ones. So these animals, they have skin, like how we have skin and small hair here and there. So even these mammals also, they have skin. So if you take a cat, so cat also has skin and it has thick hair on it, that is called as fur. It's called as fur, F-U-R. If you take few more, like polar bear is there. For polar bear, the fur is very thick. And if you take a goat and sheep, for goat the hair is very thin and very light. For sheep it is very thick and very dark, right? So from one mammal to another mammal also it's going to differ, but all the mammals, they have, the body is covered with skin and hair. So birds have skin covered with feathers. So what do birds have? So birds also have skin, but instead of hair they have feathers. That is nothing but the quill. Feathers are like this. So completely it's covered with this feathers. Right? So reptiles have skin covered with dry scales. So what are reptiles? Snake, crocodile, then lizards. So all these come under reptiles. And these animals, they have very dry skin. Okay, the skin is not moist, and they have scales. Scales are nothing but the body, it has completely lines like this. So it has completely lines. Those are called as scales. So scales are present on the body of reptiles. Then mollusks have shells. So if you turn the page and see, you can see the mollusk, a snail, and here mollusk. So they have shells like this. They have very hard shells, and the body of the animal is very soft. It is very soft, and it's not, they don't have any bones and all. So the body of the animal is very soft, but they have a shell which is very, very hard and tough. Then amphibians have bare skin that is usually soft and moist. And if you see the frog here, so it is an amphibious animal. So it has a very soft and moist skin. Moist skin means it always has a little bit wet on its body. So that is about amphibious animals. And fishes have wet and slimy scales. So whenever you draw a fish also, you draw like this, right? So these are nothing but the scales. So these scales will be in the form of C shape. They are in the form of C shape, reverse C shape. Okay. And how they are? They will be overlapping like this, one above each other. They will be overlapping like this, one above each other, and they are always wet and little hard, which protect them from the enemies. And if you want to hold the fish also, it will be very slippery. Okay, it will be very slippery. So that is about the body coverings. So here mammals. Here the example is lion. So they have skin with hair or skin with fur. Then birds have feathers. What do birds have? The example they have given here, it is a pigeon. And then reptiles, they have dry scales. And snake also, it also has scales under to the lower side of the body. Then here if you see mollusk, they have a hard shell. And amphibious animals, they have soft and moist skin. Then fishes, they have wet and slimy scales. Then animals have different skin coverings to adapt and live comfortably in their habitats. So their skin is also different from one place to the other place. Few mammals, they live in dry areas where there is no water, and few mammals, they live in cold areas. So the climatic condition is different from here to there. So their skin also will be different. So fur and wool. The first one is fur and wool. Some animals such as sheep have a special body covering that is called as wool, and even sheep also has the wool, it will be very thick. So here you can see in the picture, it is a polar bear. It also has the thick fur. So what is the use of this thick fur? It will keep the body of the animal warm. So whenever here winter season is there, we also wear the woolen clothes like sweaters and all, right? So woolen clothes are going to protect us from the cold air, cool weather. So here they also have little wool on their body which help them to keep warm. So it keeps their body warm. The thick fur of a polar bear or an Arctic fox protects them from the extreme cold. So here polar bear, they live in the cold areas which protects them from the snowfall. Then feathers. So which animals will have feathers? Birds. So birds have feathers that keep them warm and help them to fly. So birds, they fly in the air. So these feathers also help the bird to protect themselves from the sun's heat and rain. So the bird, it will not become wet if it goes into the rain also. They have wax coating, so it will not allow the bird to get wet. And these feathers, they keep the body warm. Then scales. So reptiles, they have scales. So fish have overlapping scales that do not let water to enter into their body. Reptiles such as crocodile, snakes and lizards also have scales for protection. As I already told you, fishes, they have C-shaped scales which are overlapping one above the other. So these scales will not allow the water to let inside the fish. And if you look at the reptiles, so this crocodile, it also has scales and it has like small spine-like structures on the skin. So that is going to help it from the enemies. Then shells. So here we have seen that mollusk, right? So shell, a very hard outer covering, is called a shell. It protects the soft body of animals such as snails, tortoise and oysters. So here, whenever enemy comes, it's going to hide inside the shell. Then later after some time, it's going to come out. So this shell is very hard, which protects it from its enemies. Other body coverings are called as, so the color and strips on the body of a tiger blend with the forest background. So the animal being hunted cannot easily spot it. So this is called as camouflage. So if you see a zebra and a tiger, they have strips on it. If you take tiger, it has yellow and black strips. If you take zebra, it has black and white strips. So when they move in the jungle, right? So suddenly if we see that animal also, we cannot identify. They get mixed with the color of their surroundings. And another animal also which is very familiar to you, it is chameleon. So it will be same like a lizard but little bigger in size. So this chameleon, it on whichever surface it is, the body is going to change its color into that surface color. For suppose if the chameleon is on the board, it changes its color completely into green color. If the chameleon is on the roof or somewhere on the floor, it's going to change its color into the floor or onto the roof. If it is on the trees, it changes its color to green, right? So on whichever surface it is, it's going to change its color into that. So this kind of feature is called as camouflage. So a porcupine has sharp needle-like spines called quills on its body for protection against enemies. Insects such as bees and ants have a waxy and water-resistant outer covering called as cuticle. Animals such as armadillos have hard armor-like plates that provide protection from enemies. So here you can see it is a porcupine. So here for this porcupine you can see the needle-like structures which protect them from the enemy. And if you see this ant has a waxy coating around its body and this is armadillo. So here it has a scales with small spines on its body. So they are going to help the animal from the enemies. And here the waxy coating of the ant, it is called as cuticle. What is it called? It's called as cuticle. Okay, so this is about the animals of their skin. Now here you have checkpoints. Just see. State true or false. Water and land are the two main types of habitat. Yes, it is true. The first one is true. Then second one, a snail has scales to protect itself from enemies. So a snail has a shell but not scales. So the given statement is false. So this is first one and this is second one. Then third one, ants have an outer covering called quills on their bodies. It is false. Ants have an waxy coating called as cuticle. Then the quills are present for porcupine. So the given statement is false. The thick wool of the polar bear protects it from extreme cold. Yes, it is true. So with this we have come to an end. In the next session we will learn about the eating habits of animals and breathing methods and even movements also. So the homework for you will be write down the body covering points here which are there in page number 293. So from page number 293 you have 6 points about body coverings of different animals. That 6 points you should learn and write it one time in your homework book. So read the lesson and try to understand the topic and see the video again if you don't understand. Hope you all have understood this lesson. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.